How's it going today? Today we're going to talk about is Dave Ramsey a scam and why I don't like him. Why I never really liked him. I used to listen to him now, but give you a backstory of what I do and stuff, my channel and everything. I pick stocks and I make money through the stock market. I have videos where I make thousands of dollars in a day, but that's kind of where I'm at. But why I don't like Dave Ramsey and stuff like that and why I think he's horrible advice for the average person, I always live by the saying, Dave Ramsey teaches people how to be better at being poor. So essentially, and that's always been my saying with him. I used to watch him all the time. You hear him, and I had friends and people, family members like, oh, Dave Ramsey, listen to him, listen to the Susie Ormans. I don't like, it's not really, I don't like Dave Ramsey personally. I don't know him. So bottom line, I'm arguing his viewpoint on the world. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to learn more about what I do in the stock market and stuff like that. And anyway, I'm just going to argue his viewpoint. I'm not attacking him. I'm sure he's a great guy, and everything like that. I'm not attacking him personally. It's not a personal attack. This is just his viewpoints. And the reason I don't like him is because first, like I said, I think he just teaches people how to better be poor. I used to like him, but he teaches the mindset of what I call the middle class. He teaches, which in my opinion, if you don't have money, you're broke. You know what I mean? So essentially, and that's kind of what the middle class is, and they kind of teach that. And that works good for the 60s and 80s, but it doesn't work in 2020s. You know what I mean? Think about it. Let's do his viewpoint. His viewpoint is get a job. Get a job and work and work and work and save a little bit and save and scrimp and scrape and scrimp and scrape. So he teaches you how to save and work. That is the dumbest thing. And let me tell you something. That's stupid. That keeps you poor. That keeps you poor. Now, let me repeat that again. That keeps you poor. The saver are losers. You know what I mean? If you try to save your money, now I'm not saying blow it and everything, but I believe that what motivates people is to have that spending mentality. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying buy everything you need and go to Walmart and do a big spending. But that is better than the guy that's saving it and putting it in a bank account, you know what I mean? Or a 401k that gets the real returns are not the 10% that he thinks because they have fees and stuff like that, And let's face it, 10% on your money is not going to make you rich. It won't. It might make you, like I said, better at being poor. It might get you maybe $100,000, but let's face it, $100,000 isn't a whole lot of money. You know what I mean? You need millions, you know what I mean? And you're not going to make it with Dave Ramsey unless you move up. But the average person, think about it, they only make $40,000. And let's face it, let's say my thinking through the stock market, and I train all that, and I like this. I teach the stock market. I think there's free ways to make money in life, to make what I've talked real money, like millions. Is free ways, basically stock market, real estate, and start a business. That's about the only way. So essentially the job, that's just that's one way. That's a one-way ticket being poor, unless you can move up corporate ladder. Think about how many companies there is. There's 500 on the S&P, 500 largest. So that means there's 500 CEOs. That's not a whole lot of that. Hell, you become a CEO, it's like becoming a rock star. You know what I mean? Good luck with that, unless you can sing or whatever. You have talents and God-given luck. But for the average person, it's just no damn way. So the average person makes, $40,000. So, there's no way that someone can ever do that unless they get lucky. Because let's face it, I grew up in the real world. I didn't grow up in these fairy tales. Because see, that's what I love about finance. Finance is good economic teachers teach you the psychology and the finance. See, he's a finance person. So he's like, if you do this and do this and do this, this will happen. Well, that works. It's like, it works in this equation. You know what I mean? We could put a man on the moon. It's easy. Just here's a math equation. Well, look at the real world. That doesn't work. Your math's wrong. This wrong. You forgot to do this. There's so many variables. And that's where you discounts against a lot. You know what I mean? If you're making, let's say, $40,000. Now, if you take my philosophy, and I'm not saying go out and quit your job today, not trying to teach that. I think jobs are okay, but they're okay as a starting place. You don't want to keep your job. You don't want to stay at your job, but you eventually want to jump out so you don't have to rely on somebody. Think about it. Think about all the people that lost their job. We have 25% unemployment right now. That is a lot of people. All them people relying on a job. But think of the Wall Street. Look at the stock market, almost an all-time high. Because let me tell you one secret. about Wall Street. They always get bailed out. They always get bailed out. I mean, look at 2008. They always get bailed out. Then people that lost their homes and their jobs, they get bailed out. Nah, they lost their homes and foreclosures went up. The Wall Street, the AIG, Bear Stearns, yeah, they got bailed out. You know what I mean? All them companies that couldn't pay this, guess what? They got quantitative easing. Basically, they got bailed out by the Fed. They started just printing money to pay out these companies, you know what I mean? Buying their bonds and stuff like that. And that's what they do. They don't help the average person. The average person, they could get a job when the economy picks up. Who hell with them? They really, if they went back. So that's why the Dave Ramsey, and the one thing I really dislike about Dave Ramsey is that he teaches things that he doesn't live by. He never got a job in his whole life. He's never, where was his first job? Picking up, back in, I worked at a job at McDonald's. He got rich working at McDonald's. Fuck, no, he didn't. Hell no, he didn't. What did he do when he was turned 20? Got into real estate. Then he was like, well, I'm going to start my own business. And that's what he does. He sells you a book. And that's it. I would like him. And I like a lot of people on YouTube. I like the Dan Locks and the Robert Kiyosaki's and stuff like that. But they got rich by telling you what they do. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I never really respect people that tell you to do one thing and then do the opposite. That doesn't make no sense. It's like, live and work, get a job, making $40,000 a year. That's the average. $40,000 a year, save it up in this, and you could be a millionaire. Well, good luck with that. Life happens. You get in a car wreck or this or that. Life happens. You know what I mean? That's the sad honest truth, and that's why a lot of people struggle. And they turn to Dave Ramsey and stuff like, and to Susie Orleman, that mindset of work and save away. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, especially in this economy. Maybe back in the 60s and 40s, that was the old way. That's the old way of philosophy. But that doesn't work in today's society. Let's face it. That finance philosophy does not work in our society anymore. It doesn't work. You can go out and get a job, but let's face it, you can make what? Maybe $15, maybe $20 if you're lucky. But let's face it, is $20 going to make you a whole lot of money? Fuck no, it won't. I know damn well it won't. You know what I mean? So how do you do it? Well, I got my YouTube channel, and that's why I started it. Because I see a lot of people struggling financially, and I hate it. You know what I mean? I make thousands. I can leave a link down in the descriptions of how I make $1,000 a day, and I pick stocks, so you don't have to do really any research. Honestly, you picked them. I pick stocks on my channel that double your money. And now try to double your money, save it in a bank account or a 401k. You have to wait years, and that's if nothing happens. That's if you don't lose your job. And what happens is, you save up all the money, but you don't have a whole lot of money. So guess what happens? When the market crashes, you lose your job because you rely on your job. You don't have any other sources of income. And guess what? You have to pull the money out at a loss. You know what I mean? Some guy like me, when it goes down, I can throw it back in there because I have enough money in cash and reserves. So if anything happens, it doesn't really matter. And then if you learn how to play the stock market and understand that you can make money even when the economy crashes. And that's the best thing about it. You know what I mean? I don't care. Go ahead. Crash Wall Street. I don't care. What can happen is I could short it, buy put options, derivatives, and stuff like that. It could go down. And guess what? They get bailed out and it goes right back up. You know what I mean? That's how it works. That's how you make a lot of money. Now, can you do that with your job? Heck no. Good luck. That's all I gotta say. And I know there's some old person be like, he's just some young kid, lives in his mom's basement and sitting out in his car and all this. Loser. Well, I like to see how much he makes and how lucky he probably just got through luck, honestly. You know what I mean? And I know the old people, they probably bash me and say, but that's great. You probably born in the 60s or the 70s. Back in those days, yeah, it was doable. And it made sense back in those days. You made, quite a bit more money. Compared to everything costing. Everybody, and it's funny too. They go say, these older people, and I know the younger people, they're probably nodding their head, be like, hey, this guy's probably right. It is kind of fucked. For the average person, for the middle class, and it ain't getting any better. Think about it. You have a president that they support, and what was his slogan? Make America great again. Again. That means it was good, and it went to hell. And they go say that, but then they say, these young people are lazy. So it's just a contradicting statement. Is it got better or worse? Well, in that statement, if you're trying to make it great again, it got worse. You know what I mean? That's his rally cry. I'm not trying to get political. I'm not saying it's a good slogan, bad slogan. It worked, I guess. He got elected. But even then, you think the government's going to help you then? The government don't help you. Think about it. You had this great guy the savior of the middle class, and guess what happened? We're in a recession, probably the worst one since the Great Depression. Now you can say, well, it's this and that and this and that. But really, all reality, you can blame it on whatever happens, but guess what? It's real. It happened. How life is. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like the Dave Ramseys of the world, and I don't like that philosophy. And you know what I'm talking about? They'll get a job, work till you're dead, and maybe you're going to have something maybe later on. Live like nobody now, so you can live like nobody else. That's what he says over and over and over on his channel, in his podcast. And he's always said that, and he teaches people to go to college, which I didn't go to college. You know what I mean? I didn't go to college. I said, the hell with that. You know what I mean? I don't want to get a job. I don't want to work. I'm lazy. It's okay to be lazy if you're smart. If you're smart, you're smart, and you motivate other people to work for you. You know what I mean? It's like what Warren Buffett said. If you're, the only way things get done is through knowledge and through hard work. But it doesn't have to be your knowledge, and it doesn't have to be your hard work. You know what I mean? And that's how it works. I mean, think about it right now. If you're smart, you would subscribe. You don't have to know all the stock market. I can help you. You know what I mean? You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be like me and do all the research and do all this. I like doing that. But you could just subscribe, and I got portfolios that outperform the S&P, outperform probably every single mutual fund, and no fees. You know what I mean? All you have to do is subscribe, like, comment, and I guarantee you 100%. You know what I mean? Just use my smarts. You use my experience, and my hard work. You know what I mean? That's how it really works. If you're lazy, like me, I'm lazy. I could be supposed to admit, if somebody wants to do hard work, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Unless there's a hell of a payout. But a lot of these places, hell, I used to work at McDonald's. That's hard work. And let me tell you, if you make it $8 an hour, it's real hard work for $8 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, it's back-breaking work, for $8 an hour. I mean, hell, it's torture in there. But anyway, I'm not trying to degrade anybody that works there. I worked there. Didn't like it. I quit, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to find something else, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. And I believe, and that's why, Dave Ramsey would tell me, oh, you stay in that job, and you can move up. Like, yeah, right. Good luck with that. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's all I got to say about the Dave Ramseys. And this is kind of just an angry rant video. And I really, and it's sad. That's why I know I could get a lot of hate for this, because he has a very loyal following. A lot of older people listen to him. And it's sad. I don't want a bunch of young people listen to him. Because let me tell you something. Back a long time ago, back in 2000s, he would bash you. He would bash young people. And that's why I think it's criminal about Fox News. I mean, you look this up. Look this up on YouTube right now. On Fox News and CNN and all these media outlets, they bash millennials. They bashed them. They bashed them. Dave Ramsey would sit there and say they're lazy, entitled. Where do you think that all that came from? From people like Dave Ramsey, from Fox News and CNN. But now, they realize that, these millennials, they're getting older. They're becoming our viewers, so they're turning their backs on us. They're saying, well, millennials are great. Now I'm hearing all these, millennials, they're working hard. They're great people. I mean, look at Joe Biden. He bashed him, and now he's saying he loves them. Why? Because he wants your vote? Dave Ramsey wants your money? They want you to watch Fox News and stuff like that when they bashed you. That's the reason when there's some young person walking around and someone sitting around, and then some old person be like, oh, he's lazy. He's a lazy young person. You ever had an old person say that to you? Probably. And that's because they got indoctrinated by all that Fox News crap and all that Fox News. And they used to. That Hannity, they used to. Now they're saying, oh, millennials are doing great. They're good people. You weren't saying that 20 years ago. Back in the 2000s because I used to watch that stuff. Let me tell you something. They didn't say anything nice about young people, but they were too young to watch it anyway. Unless they watched it at one of their family members or friends' houses and sit there. I used to have family members that sit there and watch it all night while we eating dinner too. And sit there and listen to that. But anyway, and all they did was bash young people. All the Dave Ramsey, they're lazy. Now he says he likes them. Now why is that? Because he knows they're turning 20, they're turning 30 years old, and they want to learn about money. Because they know it's important now. But he bashed them. And he used to say go to college too. And now he's saying, don't go to college. Because he's trying to get these young people in there. He's trying to indoctrinate another generation so he can sell you a book that doesn't work. It could work. It could keep you poor. It will. I've seen a lot of people, and they save every dime, and then something happens. They get divorced. I mean, come on. It doesn't say that in the book. How do you deal with divorce? It doesn't say that. It doesn't explain any of that. It doesn't explain how you lose your job. What, save 6 months? I mean, good luck with that if you're making only $40,000. And it's shame too, because let me tell you something. If you're a single mom working at a diner, there's really no chance for you, really. Listen to Dave Ramsey. Now, there's a chance for you if you get into stocks, like I teach on my channel, or real estate. Real estate's great too, if you get into that. But if you listen to Dave Ramsey, you just stay poor. You know what I mean? You have a better chance of do something, but you ain't gonna make it like that. And that's just sad, honest truth. I wish it was a different way, but I've always lived by the philosophy: you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. Anyway, that's why I made this video. I go leave a link down in the description for how I make over thousands of dollars in the stock market a day. And hopefully it helps you guys out. That's why I started this video, because I get tired of seeing people struggle financially. And I see there's a lot of misinformation out there, and they don't tell you this stuff. They don't teach you this stuff. And maybe because the average person, it's just a status quo. But, I guess, to hell with the status quo if it doesn't work. But anyway, that's all I gotta say, and thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want to take that trip. Now, if you just want to get a job, that's fine. Go get a job. I don't care. It does not affect me. But don't complain that you're poor. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Thank you.